How's it going, everybody? It's Sean here, and I'm back today to give you guys a review of the Air Jordan 4 Retro in the fire red colorway. This pair is slated for a worldwide release on November 28th for a retail price of $200 US or $260 here in Canada. The official colorway for this shoe is white, fire red, black, and tech gray, and this marks the first time that this colorway has released with Nike Air branding since its original release back in 1989. So for everyone watching in Canada, this pair is going to be available online at The Closet Inc. The Closet Inc. is my go-to retailer for Jordans and Nikes, so I'll link their social media, their website, all that good stuff down below, so be sure to check them out and follow them on their social media accounts to have the latest updates on how these fire red 4s are going to be released. The Air Jordan 4 in general is one of the more beloved Air Jordan silhouettes of all time. And while we've seen many iterations of this fire red colorway, for various reasons ranging from the shape of the shoe to the lack of the OG Nike Air branding, but I think it's safe to say that this year's version is the closest to the OG release that we've ever seen. So taking a deep dive into the shoe, first and foremost I want to stress that the shape of these 4s has been tweaked by Jordan Brand to look a little bit more like a mid-cut, which might look a little bit strange at first, but if you look at pictures from the original 1989 release, you can see it had much more of a higher profile than retro 4s we've seen in the past. The upper of the shoe is constructed out of this white colored leather, and to the touch I'd say that the quality of this leather is pretty average. It's nothing amazing, but it's also not the worst leather we've ever seen, and to me at least it sits perfectly in the middle. We have these TPU lace crowns on both the bottom and the top, and this is done in this fire red color, and then in between this we have the signature netting, which is done in white with a contrasting layer of black underneath. Unlike past Jordan 4s as well, this white netting isn't completely attached to the underlying layer underneath, which is how the 4s were originally constructed. Moving further down, we have that black triangular shaped side wing or strap, and again, unlike past retros, the material that this is constructed out of is much more flexible, and it doesn't have that overly rigid, overly hard plastic feel. On the back heel, we have the signature heel tab, and then my favorite part with this shoe, we finally have the Nike Air branding in red. The Nike Air though isn't completely perfect, it's still a little bit off center, with the word Air slightly to the right of the Nike logo, but it's still a step in the right direction, and honestly, beggars can't be choosers. For the laces, these come with these flat cotton laces in white, and underneath this, the majority of the tongue is covered in that same white netting that we saw on the sides of the shoe, and then the top of the tongue is completely covered in this white leather, and stitched on top we have this Jumpman flight tag. You also notice that the interior side of the tongue, it doesn't wrap up and over onto the front of the tongue, which is something we've seen with recent Retro 3s as well, and it's showing that Jordan Brand is paying attention to the details. Stitched on top, we have this white Air Jordan tag, which is stitched on in upside down fashion. And then the remainder of the interior side of the tongue and the inner liner of the shoe, this is covered in this red colored textile. Taking out the insoles, these come with a black lined polyurethane insole, and sticking to the OG branding, we have Nike Air stamped on the heel in red. Hanging off the shoe, they also give you this OG inspired Nike Air hang tag as well, which was a nice added touch. So the upper of these Jordan 4s sits atop this polyurethane foam midsole. The upper portion of the midsole is painted in this glossy black finish, and then the bottom is painted in white. Underneath the heel, we have this cutout, which exposes the air cushioning that's found within the midsole, and then turning the shoe over to the bottom, here we have your classic Air Jordan 4 outsole. This is done in a combination of gray, white, and red colored rubber. We have this herringbone traction pattern that runs from heel to toe, and it's finished off with Nike branding in the center. So that breaks down the look and the construction of these fire red 4s. In terms of sizing, so I'm a true size 10, slightly on the wider side, and usually I wear between a 10 or a 10.5 in my Jordan 4s, depending on the material that the shoe is constructed out of. So usually, I find that leather 4s I can stick true to size with my size 10, so I got these in a size 10, and I'd say that they do run a little bit snug. I feel like if you have narrow, normal, or slightly wide feet, you can get away with sticking true to size, but if your feet are any wider than mine, then you're probably going to want to go up a half size. For me at least, I think sticking true to size is going to give me a very snug one-to-one fit, and I think it's going to be fine if I just wear thinner socks. And the only reason why I'm hesitant to go up a half size personally is because lengthwise it was perfect, so if I go up a half size, there might be way too much extra space in the toe, so I think I'm just going to make it work with true to size. Next up, in terms of comfort, generally speaking, the Jordan 4 isn't the most comfortable retro out there, and I feel like despite the fact that there's a polyurethane insole, not much has changed from a comfort standpoint. It's still going to feel pretty firm on feet, and there's really not too much from a softness standpoint, so to me this shoe is going to be a strictly casual use sneaker, and one that I might not necessarily wear for too many hours in a day. Last but not least, in terms of the quality and the craftsmanship on this pair, the leather quality wasn't the greatest. To me, it felt a little bit thin and it really didn't have a premium feel to it, so it's a bit of a shame. It would have been nice if Jordan Brand took that extra step, really making this more of a premium feeling shoe. But fortunately, they did do some good things with this shoe, including the shape and this nice slanted toe box. With all that out of the way now, let's lace up these fire red 4s and I'll show you guys how these look on feet. This colorway of the Air Jordan 4 will forever be pretty special to me. Back when I started buying shoes back around 2005, the Mars 4s back in 2006 was one of my first Jordan pickups ever. So I definitely feel some nostalgia when I put these on feet, and I do love the fact that Nike Air is finally back on this colorway. So let me know in the comment section down below if you guys plan to pick these up when they release on November 28th. How do you guys feel about this colorway in particular, and are you a fan of Jordan 4s in general, or is the look of the shoe not really for you? If you guys like this video, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Give me a follow on Instagram at esco8, check out my Twitter account at sean.go, and visit my website at seango.ca. Before I end this video, another huge thank you goes out to The Closet Inc. So for all my Canadian viewers, be sure to check them out and stay tuned for their release of these fire red 4s. So until next time, thanks so much for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this review, and I'll catch you guys all in my next video.